How many times have you helped someone and been disappointed by their behavior towards you? How many times have you had the impression that your help was not welcome or brought results opposite to those you imagined? And finally, have you ever wondered if there is a limit to kindness? What if helping someone can actually do them more harm than good? Buddhist wisdom teaches us that compassion is key, but that sometimes the best way to help someone is to leave them free to face their own challenges. It seems like a paradox, right? Yet there are situations in which our desire to help can turn into an obstacle to the growth of others. And in this video, thanks to a Zen story, we will see that there are 10 types of people who, according to Buddhist wisdom, you should not help. 10 types of people who, strange as it may seem, might benefit more from not getting your help. Are you curious? Does this seem like a counterintuitive idea to you? Then follow us on this journey to discover the teachings of the venerable Buddhist monk Yin. Listen carefully to his words because they may change the way you view help and compassion. They may push you to reconsider your relationships and ask yourself whether you are truly helping the people around you, or whether you are unknowingly hindering their path and your own. And if you stick around to the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to recognize these 10 types of people and how to behave accordingly for their good and yours. But before continuing, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to stay updated when we publish new content for your spiritual growth. The morning sun filtered through the bamboo leaves, creating a play of light and shadow on the path leading to the temple. The disciples of the venerable Buddhist monk Yin had gathered in the main hall, eager to listen to the teachings of their master. Yin, with her long white hair and eyes exuding a profound serenity, took a seat on her meditation cushion. "My dear disciples," he began in a calm and melodious voice, "today I will talk to you about a delicate but fundamental topic for your spiritual growth, the 10 types of people you should not help." A murmur of surprise spread among the disciples. Wasn't helping others one of the fundamental principles of Buddhism? Yin smiled, sensing their confusion, and prepared to delve deeper into the topic so as to teach them how to deal with people who ask for help. "Don't get me wrong, my dears," he continued. "Compassion is the heart of our practice. However, there is a fundamental difference between helping someone and allowing someone to remain trapped in their own cycles of suffering. Sometimes, the greatest act of compassion is letting a person face the consequences of their actions so that they can learn and grow." Ian paused, letting his words sink into the minds of his disciples. "The first type of person you shouldn't help," he continued, "is someone who refuses to take responsibility for their actions. These people blame others, fate, society, or external circumstances for their problems without ever looking within themselves. You may encounter a trader who attributes the failure of his business to bad luck or unfair competition instead of acknowledging his own management mistakes, such as ignoring market changes or investing imprudently. Or you might encounter a farmer who blames drought for his poor harvest, instead of admitting that he didn't care for his fields properly. Helping them would mean perpetuating their illusion and preventing them from embarking on the path of personal growth, which begins with the acceptance of one's responsibility. The second type of person, Ian continued, is the one who clings to victimization. These people wallow in their pain, refusing to let go of the past and embrace the possibility of a better future. Imagine a woman who, after being abandoned by her husband, locks herself in the house, refusing any help, feeding on her own resentment, and continually repeating how unfairly she has been treated. Or a man who, after losing his job, considers himself a victim of society and refuses to look for new opportunities. Helping them would fuel their negativity, confirm their view of themselves as victims, and prevent them from finding inner peace. and the strength to move forward. The third type of person is the one who refuses to learn from his mistakes. The monk continued. These people repeat the same destructive behavior patterns without ever questioning their choices. Think of a gambler who, despite repeated losses, continues to bet, hoping to recover the lost money, convinced that next time it will be different. Or to a man who, after having cheated on his wife and causing the end of his marriage, continues to repeat the same mistake with other women, without ever questioning the reasons for his behavior. To help them would be to deprive them of the opportunity to gain wisdom through experience, which is the only way to break the cycle of mistakes and suffering. Ian continued with the fourth type, one who constantly seeks the approval of others, basing his worth on the opinion of others. You may encounter an artist who creates works only to please the public, without following his own inspiration. Or a young person who chooses his career based on his parents' expectations instead of following his own passions. Helping these people would mean strengthening their dependence on the judgment of others and preventing them from discovering their own self-worth, which comes from the awareness of their own intrinsic value. The fifth type, Ian explained, is he who feeds on drama and conflict, creating chaos and discord wherever he goes. Imagine a neighbor who spreads rumors and fuels arguments among villagers, or a colleague who creates tension in the workplace with his complaints and unfounded accusations. Helping these people would mean fueling their negativity, giving them the attention they seek, and allowing them to continue to sow suffering, not only for others, but also for themselves. The sixth type, Ian said, is the one who refuses to change, stubbornly clinging to his habits and beliefs, even when they are clearly harmful. Think of a farmer who, despite the drought, refuses to adopt new irrigation techniques, condemning his crop to failure. Or an elderly man who refuses to learn to use a computer, isolating himself from the modern world. Helping these people would mean perpetuating their stagnation, hindering to their resistance to change, and preventing them from evolving and adapting to new circumstances. The seventh type of person you should not help, the monk continued, is one who does not respect the boundaries of others, invading the physical and emotional space of others without regard. You may encounter a man who intrudes into private conversations, who touches people without their consent, or who enters other people's homes without invitation. Or a woman who feels entitled to criticize the appearance or life choices of others without considering their feelings. Helping these people would mean allowing them to continue violating the rights of others, ignoring signs of distress and requests for respect. Instead, it's important to set clear boundaries and make them understand that their behavior is not acceptable. The eighth type, according to Ian, is one who manipulates others for his own purposes, using deception and lies to get what he wants. Imagine a corrupt politician promising favors in exchange for votes, with no intention of keeping his promises. Or a merchant who sells defective products, deceiving customers about their quality. You might even meet a friend who asks you for help with a problem, but really just wants to take advantage of your generosity. Helping these people would mean becoming complicit in their harmful actions, reinforcing their manipulative behavior, and allowing them to continue exploiting others. Instead, it is important to expose their deceptions, refuse to be manipulated, and encourage them to seek a more honest and respectful way to get what they want. The ninth type, Ian explained, is the one who constantly complains without taking action, always talking about his problems without doing anything to solve them. Think of a patient who complains about his pain, but refuses to follow the treatment prescribed by the doctor. Or think of an unemployed person who complains about the lack of work, but does not engage in the search for new opportunities. You might also encounter a friend who constantly complains about his or her love life, but does nothing to change the situation. Helping these people would mean fueling their passivity, confirming their belief that they are powerless, and preventing them from taking control of their lives. Instead, it is important to encourage them to take responsibility for their problems, to seek concrete solutions, and to take action to improve their situation. Finally, Ein concluded with the 10th type, one who does not appreciate the help received, taking the support of others for granted without showing gratitude. Imagine a child who receives everything from his parents, but never thanks them and shows no appreciation for their sacrifices. Or a friend who constantly asks you for favors, but never offers to reciprocate. Helping these people would waste their energy and resources, fuel their sense of entitlement, and prevent them from learning the importance of reciprocity and gratitude. Instead, it is important to make them understand that help is not a right, but a gift, and that gratitude is an essential element for building healthy and lasting relationships. The disciples listened attentively, reflecting on their master's words. Ian watched them with compassion, knowing that these truths might be difficult to accept. My dear disciples, added the aged and wise Ein, to understand these 10 types of people does not mean judging or condemning them. It simply means recognizing that sometimes the best way to help someone is to leave them free to face their own challenges and find their own path to spiritual growth. Remember that true compassion is not about solving other people's problems, but about giving them the tools to solve them themselves. And this, my dears, is a much more precious gift.